Hello guys, it's me Vampireleniore, and I know it's been quite a while since the last time I made a video. I apologize. Tons of stuff, like crazy, like mind-numbing stuff has happened to me, and that's my reasoning behind that. I'll get into it throughout this video, but to start with, kind of in the midst of the holidays, I had some crazy shit happen. I had a wonderful Christmas and Thanksgiving, and then 3 days after Christmas, on the 28th, obviously, my sister gave birth to my nephew, and it was a wonderful, day to me. I love being an aunt. It's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. So whenever she has a child, it's something that just, like, obviously makes me very happy. And it was a day of celebration for me until later on that day. I was doing a routine check on my breasts, like I do regularly. And I recommend highly that all of you people do this, man or woman, because men can get this too, men can get lumps. I found a lump, and the next day I went in and I got a biopsy done. Originally I just went in to see just a doctor because I felt this lump, and I've been having some issues. I thought maybe they were because of my thyroid, so I got my thyroid checked and stuff like that day. And yeah, the doctor wound up sending me to get an ultrasound, and the person that did my ultrasound wound up sending me to get a mammogram, and then they wound up sending me to get a biopsy. And 5 days later, I found out that I have cancer. I have breast cancer, and I'm in my 20s, and that is not common, and it really sucks, and it's turned my entire world upside down. On top of that, I got sick a couple of days after finding my lump, so I have been sick for quite some time now, like almost 3 weeks. And I just got off antibiotics, so hopefully I'll be better soon, because they won't be able to operate on me until I'm all better. Yeah, I've got a lot ahead of me as far as recovery goes. If I do recover, I'm trying to stay realistic with myself so that I can accept all the possibilities. I'm kind of just trying to come to terms with what's happening, what could happen. I'm trying to come to terms with the worst case scenario situations. I might die. I might have to have, a lot of scarring and a lot of side effects from everything that's going to happen. And it's terrifying, and the way that this has affected me and my family and my boyfriend has just been like a truck hitting you straight on. I haven't felt healthy in 10 years, and it didn't completely surprise me, but it still just completely turned my world upside down. Regardless, I don't know what to say. Every day is just, right now, every day I'm just trying my best to get through my day and to be strong and positive. Every day people tell me to be strong and positive, and it's like, I have to do that in order to just get through my day. I don't need people to tell me to do that. I just want to hear that people care, and that people are worried about me, and that they're there for me, and that they love me, and I want to hear, like, positive things about myself, but I don't need to be told how to deal with the situation or how my attitude needs to be through this, especially for people that have never had cancer before. So that's been kind of hard. Just, I understand the intention is positive behind those comments, but it hurts hearing those comments. It's like almost like a slap in the face, but I know that it's not intentional, so I'm not like upset with people for saying those things. I don't like it. And yeah, it sucked. I haven't really, a lot of my friends haven't really been there for me, most of them really, and that's been like a big struggle along with this, is just feeling so unloved by my friends. Yeah, one of my friends who lives in Los Angeles, so she's quite a ways away from me and can't see me. But we used to be coworkers, and she had cancer herself, and she's even younger than me. But she didn't have breast cancer, but she had cancer. And she said that this was something also that she had to deal with when she was going through this herself, is just like friends just disappearing into the blue and telling her it's because they don't understand what to say. It's stuff like that. But it just really sucks. People that you think love you so much, and people who you love just not being there for you. And obviously, this doesn't apply to all of my friends. So if you're a friend and you're watching this and you're like, man, I've been there for you, like you're being an ungrateful little shit, it's probably not about you. Yeah, it's been heartbreaking, honestly. Not hearing from my friends very often and stuff. It's like I could die from this, and you guys aren't even like, most of them are not trying to see me or anything. I've had a couple try to see me and they just can't because of certain circumstances, like living far away and stuff like that. That's understandable. But when somebody lives within blocks of me and they don't take time out of their day to even see if I'm okay or not, like, I don't know. That's some of the heartache that I've been dealing with. And I know that sometimes like people get so caught up in their own issues that they can't be there for their friends. But in a way, I find that really shitty and not a friend at all when you're like that. When you're only around when it's convenient for you, that's not friendship. You know, a friend, like if you genuinely care about your friend, you're going to be there for them when they have a life-threatening disease. So yeah, that's kind of me going on a little rant. So I'm just winging it as I go. This has been the hardest year of my life. I know we're just a couple of weeks in, but it feels like it's been like a year for me. Sometimes days just go by so slowly. I don't know. It's just, I've never had to be more strong in my life, that's for sure. I have no choice but to be, in order to just get by. You have to have so much strength to get through something like this, and yeah, it's just been extremely hard. It's hard not just because of my own suffering and everything that I'm about to give up, all the shitty decisions I'm having to make about my own body and what I want to get rid of and what I want to keep and how it's going to potentially affect me in life. It really sucks. It really, really sucks. And I'm afraid that I'll never have like the same quality of life again after the procedures and the chemotherapy. There is side effects and stuff to chemotherapy that are pretty brutal that I'm hoping I don't have to deal with, but I don't know if I already mentioned this, but I'm just trying to accept all the possibilities and kind of just come to terms with all of it emotionally, just in case, because I'm trying not to be caught off guard by anything else. because a part of me feels like it's going to make things easier if I do it that way. I don't know. But a huge thing that hurts about this whole situation is seeing the way that it affects the people that really, really care about me and have been there with me through all of this so far, like my boyfriend and my family. And, you know, like seeing somebody that you care about hurting all the time, and I feel sad for everybody involved, you know. I feel sad that they have to watch somebody they care about go through this, and I feel sad for myself too, you know. I don't deserve this. I don't think anybody, well, any decent human being that hasn't gone out and killed somebody or raped somebody or molested somebody, blah, 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 like horrible things like that, decent human beings don't deserve this sort of thing. And unfortunately, I've been dealt a shitty hand at a young age, and, you know, I find myself wishing a lot, like, that I could have gotten this at an older age. There are positives to getting this at a young age, but I hate it when other people bring up that I'm lucky that I have cancer at a young age. I'm not lucky. I'm very unlucky to get cancer at a young age. I really wish I could have gotten it at an older age, after I got to live my life, after I got to experience a lot of things, because I don't know how this is going to affect my body and my quality of life for the rest of my life. I'm very young. Like, I deserved to be able to live like a full, nice life before I had to deal with all this shit. But life is not fair. And yeah, just right now I'm just trying to cope with everything and like let the reality of the situation kind of sink in without destroying me. Because this is just one of those crippling, like, this crippling sense of grief that just kind of weighs down on you, and you feel like you're just going to be crushed under the weight of it because it's so crazy. And, you know, that's my life this year. And I see everybody else around me going like, this year is going to be great, like, I'm going to have this wonderful year, I'm going to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. This year, my goal is to survive, and my goal is to maybe, possibly not get cancer again, and maybe possibly to look halfway decent when this is all over, because I'm going to have things taken off my body. And the few parts of me that I like, you know, I'm going to be losing a lot of those parts that I like. I like my breasts and I like my hair. I'm going to lose those things. And it's just like such a traumatizing realization that I'm coming to. You know, I know that emotionally I'm going to be able to deal with this, I think, because it's crazy what you can handle. You know, your mind, it accommodates, you know, it finds a way to take things like this. It's just during the transition period where you're changing as a person in order to be able to handle a situation like this, those periods are like unbearable, and that's what I'm going through right now. So, yeah, I might not be the happiest person in the world in my videos, but I'm being real with you guys. You know, I'm not happy right now. I do feel thankful for a lot of things that I have, a lot of the people that I have in my life. Like, I've caught myself realizing recently that although this is the hardest year of my life so far, it's not the worst. Because I still have moments of happiness that I didn't get to have, you know, 4 or 5 years ago when I was not perfectly healthy, but when I didn't have cancer, and I was so miserable because of the people that I surrounded myself with and the situations that kind of just came hand in hand with those certain people. But now I have, you know, the best relationship with my family I've probably ever had, and I have a wonderful boyfriend who has been holding my hand through this whole freaking process so far, and I'm so thankful for him. And I just find myself thinking I could have gotten cancer when I was with somebody who was awful to me and someone who didn't lift a finger to help me in any way. And I could have been in the situation when I had a bad relationship with my family. I could have been in this situation when I didn't have health care. You know, these things I am thankful for. But I'm just sad that as soon as my life kind of took this beautiful shape, you know, just a couple of years later, here I am. After struggling almost my entire life with hard things happening to me all the time, and just being in really horrible situations, I finally found happiness, and my life kind of like came together really well. And just not even 3.5 years later, I have cancer. And it just, you know, people keep trying to like teach me life lessons and stuff. Like, I am naive and I need to be taught how to deal with circumstances that they've never had to deal with themselves. And I know suffering. This is not the first time I felt it in my life. And honestly, I've known more suffering in my life than happiness. And that is probably part of why this is so upsetting to me, because in my mind I was just thinking, you know, I had this miserable life, but it was worth dealing with all that suffering for this outcome. All the pain that I went through was worth it for the happiness that I've had for the last 3.5 years. But now I have to suffer some more, and I just think that's bullshit, honestly. I deserve to have more happiness than 3.5 years of happiness. I deserve to have a lifetime of happiness now. And I'm just hoping with all of my heart that this goes okay, and that I look okay at the end of this. You know, I do modeling. I might still be able to do it after all of this is over. I don't know. Nerve damage might make that hard if that is something that winds up happening. And I'm going to have some big scars from the surgery. And I'm going to have implants because, frankly, I'm getting a double mastectomy. And that's when they take both of your breasts out. And I'm not going to have nipples anymore. I'm going to be an alien. So just, I know that to some people that might not be a big deal, but to me that's like so sad. It's so sad. So I don't know. I'm sure there's some people that are probably annoyed by this video being so sad, but if you find yourself being annoyed by this video, you might have to reflect on yourself a little bit, because that'd be pretty jacked up. Like, if I see a thumbs down on this video, I just automatically know the person is a piece of crap, because this situation is horrible, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, honestly. Yeah, any support is just great, like emotional support. And what I really need from people right now, I would say, is just not to tell me to be strong or tell me to be positive or to tell me not to think that way. I just need people to tell me that they think like good things about me, you know, and that they care about me, and that they care about the situation and that they know it's hard and that they're so very sorry that I have to go through this. Like, that's the kinds of things that I appreciate the most right now, is just hearing stuff like that. And it's not to say that I don't appreciate like the caring that people have for me that have told me those things, because I understand the intention behind those words and stuff like that. It's frustrating to hear them for some reason. I guess just because I already try so hard to be all of those things, and being told that I need to be all those things makes me feel like I'm not doing good enough, and it's like, this is all I got right now. This is all the strength I've got right now. This is all it takes everything I've got just to exist at the moment. And I know that in some ways this is going to get harder as I go. So that's kind of just, that adds even more gravity to the situation, I suppose. I don't know. I'm blubbering on, but yeah, I'm going to be getting a double mastectomy, and then I'm going to be doing chemotherapy for 5 months, and then they're going to be able to stage me once they've done the surgery, because they're going to be checking my lymph nodes to see if my cancer has spread. So they can't stage you unless they've done that, because there's only so much they can tell from the outside. They have to get in there and find out. So right now they suspect I'm stage 2. I've got a large tumor. So I'm hoping it hasn't spread. Some stage 2 has already spread, so just to clarify that. Anyways, some asshole is calling again. I had to stop my last video because of this too. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and sorry for the depressing topic. And I'll see you guys next time.